Hello guys and welcome to Creation Research Live. We're at Creation Fest 2022 where we're here last year, but it's a lot busier than it was here today, and our setup is much bigger. Yeah, Creation Research has come here. We've got our museum tent in the back. We've got loads of great stuff, so I thought we'd give you a little bit of a tour, have a look around at some of the displays and stuff that we've got, all from our Creation Research Museum project. Yes, we have our big museum project in Oswestry in Shropshire, and we've brought some of those exhibits here to display at Creation Fest. So come with me and see what we've got. We've got lots of wonderful different things, including things like our fantastic dinosaur eggs, Hadrosaurus. And you know, just a minute ago we were talking to some people about how did the dinosaurs fit on Noah's Ark. Well, this is a Hadrosaurus, right? This is a 10-meter long dinosaur when it's fully grown. Yet look, the dinosaur eggs are pretty small. In fact, this is about as big as any dinosaur eggs can actually get. So, hey, no issue getting the young ones aboard Noah's Ark at all. People are also quite surprised to find that you can find dinosaur bones here in the UK. Yes, we're leading a big convention field trip to Dorset later on this year, so make sure you check out the Rocks Cry Out convention. But we lead field trips all over the country and all over the world, in fact, and we have some of our UK dinosaur bones here. This is Iguanodon from the Isle of Wight. In fact, the Isle of Wight was one of the first places that dinosaur bones were ever found. Great dinosaur bones from the Isle of Wight, great swimming dinosaur bones, or the great big marine reptiles like Ichthyosaurus from the Jurassic Coast. You can come and dig up your own ones when you come into our convention, the Rocks Cry Out, down at Dorset. We also talk about things like living fossils, the very name that was coined by Charles Darwin, which he said was one of the biggest issues with his theory of evolution, because all living fossils prove is for as long as these creatures have been about, the creatures have done exactly what God told them to do, which is reproduce after their own kind. So we have examples like the horseshoe crab. Here's the modern one from Florida. Here's the fossil one from Germany, from the Solnhofen. In fact, this is a Jurassic one. Jurassic, named after the rocks in the Jura Mountains in Germany, named by Alexander von Humboldt. Nothing to do with millions of years, nothing to do with evolution. We've also got brand new exhibits from our good friend in Canada, Vance Nelson. This is a beautiful water pipe. You see the metal pipe there, right? This is from the Karlovy in the Czech Republic, and they had to actually replace this pipe because look at this beautiful layering and layering, just like stalactites and stalagmites, formed very quickly in just a matter of a very short period of time. So it doesn't take millions of years to make layers. It doesn't take hundreds of thousands of years to make solid rock or stalactites and stalagmites. It takes the right process. Nothing to do with time, everything to do with the right process. So then we come inside, and of course we've got our fossils for sale, so you can collect your own evidence and put it on display. We've got books and DVDs, things like the Rocks Cry Out project, which we'd encourage everybody to get, even if you're not in the UK, because you can read the book, you watch the free movie, and you get great stuff out of it. It teaches you principles about geology, which you can apply just about everywhere. So we've got wonderful books and DVDs, but then we're back to our museum exhibits, starting with Nebuchadnezzar's Babylonian brick. Yes, we've talked about it on Creation Conversations with our archaeology program. A wonderful big Babylonian foundation brick containing lots of lovely cuneiform, which talks about King Hezekiah. Evidence that the Bible can be trusted, that these kings were real people, like the royal seal of Hezekiah, the stamp of Hezekiah, that biblical king. And then we get back to the fossils. And this is one of my favourite ones, which I thought I'd lost, but we found in all of the mix of stuff that we brought with us. You see the curly-whirly ammonites? Beautiful deep-sea creatures buried next to, hey, what's this? A fossil pine tree. In fact, it's so well preserved, we know what kind of pine tree it is. It's an Araucaria, or the southern conifer, often called the monkey puzzle tree here in the UK. Deep sea creatures, land plants, well, either the fishy sea creatures were flying through the forest, or a flood has come through, swept up the trees, swept up the plants, and buried it next to the sea creatures. You see, when you find sea creatures and land plants buried next to each other, you're looking at great evidence of a large flood. And this is the Jurassic rocks, the same rocks from the Solnhofen in Germany, the same rocks that go all around the world. It is a worldwide flood for sure. it's more living fossils as well. Living fossils are such a great piece of evidence. We've got this beautiful new fossil razorfish from Italy next to the, well, you can see the modern example. There really is no change at all. No change in nearly 5 million years. For as long as this fish has been around, it's turned into another razorfish, right? There's no change, no evolution. The same with the fossil jellyfish, which are even older. Fossil jellyfish, these ones are Ordovician, so you're talking about 450 supposed million years, which is a ridiculous amount of time for them to do absolutely nothing. They've only reproduced after their own kind, just like it says in the Bible. You don't need the millions of years. But also, jellyfish, soft wibbly wobbly things, right? There's no hard parts to them. So if you want to fossilise them, you have to fossilise them extremely quickly. You need the right process. Get the right process, it happens quickly. Get the wrong process, does it take millions of years? No, if you took millions of years, you simply wouldn't get a fossil jellyfish. Your jellyfish and your creature or organism would be destroyed long before you have a chance to fossilise it. It's a similar story with things like these are fossil stromatolites, living fossils. The oldest of these supposedly go back nearly 1 billion years, and yet they're still alive today. No change whatsoever, reproducing after their own kind. And hey, this has probably been the most favourite of the fossils with the kids, a great big bit of fossil dinosaur poo, or coprolite is the posh word for it. But it's great because you can slice it open, you can look what's inside, but how do we know it's coprolite? Well, quite simply put, some dinosaur fossils have been found so brilliantly preserved, they still have this material in their gut. So whenever you find this in the dinosaur's gut, you always know that when you find it outside of the gut, it's gonna be the same thing, right? But it's also evidence of rapid burial. I mean, if you've ever looked after animals, you know this stuff is pretty gross, and it doesn't hang around for a long period of time. You need to fossilise it very quickly indeed. Another classic living fossil is the Nautilus. I mean, a beautiful, here's the modern one, right? The modern, it's the only shell cephalopod that we have left. Same family as squid and cuttlefish and octopus, right? And here's the fossil one from Madagascar. No change at all, and hey, guess what? It's Jurassic, named after the rocks in the Jura Mountains. No change at all in in nearly 200 million years. And we have our great big giant one down here from the Jurassic coast. Maybe you'll find one if you come on our convention. And we've got our another cephalopod related to the Nautilus and the Ammonites, our great big Orthoceras, found all pointing the same way, evidence of flowing water. Fish fossils have to be formed quickly. Mosasaur jaw, great big dinosaur, fun stuff. While wonderful fish regurgitating another fish, rapid burial that's been squashed out so quickly. Living fossils like the crocodile and our dinosaur egg nest. So great big fantastic things from all over the planet that we've been able to come and put on display. We've had so many discussions with people, it's been wonderful. We've been able to challenge people, we've been able to encourage people, we've been able to tell people about how they can support the Creation Research Centre, our brand new museum display, and how we want to set up a network of museums across the country supported by churches so that we can get this evidence actually on display. So I hope you've enjoyed our little tour. This is the last day of Creation Fest. It's been pretty good weather today. The last couple of days weren't so good, but we still had great opportunities to talk to people. So thank you for all those who've been supporting us and allow us to come here and actually do this. Yes, it does cost money to travel around, so thank you for supporting us and looking after us. Just pray that for the rest of the day and as we travel home, the Lord would keep us safe. And if you're around in the Cornwall area near Wadebridge, come and see us. And would you like us to bring our museum tent to your event? Just get in touch at info@creationresearchuk.com. Find out more about the project at creationresearchcentre.com, and until next time, goodbye and God bless, and we'll see you very soon.